afternoon. This is All India Radio and I'm Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. OBC bill seeking constitutional status for National Commission for Backward Classes to be moved in Rajya Sabha today. President Ram Nath Kovind inaugurates Festival on Democracy in Thiruvananthapuram, expresses confidence that discussions during the festival will provide inputs for progress of democracy. Supreme Court adjourns hearing on pleas challenging constitutional validity of Article 35A pertaining to Jammu and Kashmir. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar announces that the government will now run all the shelter homes in the state. In Chhattisgarh, 14 Naxals killed in encounter with security forces in Sukma district. Saudi Arabia freezes trade ties with Canada over its interference in the Gulf Kingdom's internal affairs, expels Canadian envoy and recalls its ambassador in Canada. And in football, Indian under-20 team defeat Argentina in Cotif Cup in Spain. Under-16 team also register victory over Iraq in WAFF Championship. The Constitution 123rd Amendment Bill or the OBC Bill is scheduled for consideration and passing in the Rajya Sabha today. Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawarchand Gehlot will move the bill to grant constitutional status to the National Commission for Backward Classes. The bill was passed by the Lok Sabha last week. Talking to AIR this morning, Mr. Gehlot appealed to all political parties to unanimously pass the bill in the upper house. The Criminal Law Amendment Bill 2018 and the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Bill 2018 are also scheduled to come up for consideration and passing in the House. In the Lok Sabha, the Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Amendment Bill 2018 is listed for consideration and passing. Last week, Home Minister Rajnath Singh had asserted that the government wants to pass an amendment bill in this session to restore the original provisions of the SC and ST Prevention of Atrocities Act. The Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Amendment Bill 2018 is also scheduled to be introduced in the House today. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari today said the government has no proposal to abolish toll plazas in the country. Responding to supplementaries during question hour in the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Gadkari said toll collections help in the construction of roads and highways.
If you want good services, you have to pay for it. Without toll, we cannot construct express highway and road. And we have to earn the money from the toll and we have to construct the road. We don't have any option.
Several members in the Rajya Sabha today expressed grave concern over the increasing population in the country. Raising the matter during zero hour, Dr. Ashok Vajpayee of the BJP cautioned that India's population will outnumber that of China by 2022. He suggested social organizations should come forward to help address the problem. Senior Congress leader Motilal Vora drew attention of the government to the menace of human trafficking and called for immediate effective measures to stop exploitation of young girls being picked up from various states. TMC has moved a privilege motion in the Lok Sabha against the Home Secretary and DGP of Assam over alleged manhandling of its MPs at Silchar Airport. During zero hour, Professor Saugata Roy raised the issue alleging that 4 TMC MPs, including Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, were misbehaved by the state police at the airport. Responding to it, Speaker Sumitra Mahajan said the notice is under her consideration. The MPs were stopped at the airport, citing law and order situation when they were visiting the state following the release of draft NRC. JDU MP Harivansh will be the candidate of the ruling NDA for the post of Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. This was confirmed by highly placed sources. Harivansh, a veteran journalist, represents Bihar in the upper house. The election for the post will be held this Thursday. The post has been lying vacant since the retirement of Professor P.J. Kurian last month. President Ram Nath Kovind inaugurated the Festival on Democracy to mark the conclusion of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of Kerala Legislative Assembly in Thiruvananthapuram today. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Kovind congratulated the people of the state and members of this House on the Diamond Jubilee of the Kerala Legislative Assembly. He also conveyed his wishes to the people in advance for Onam. The President expressed confidence that the discussions in the Festival of Democracy will provide actionable and practicable inputs for the progress of legislative democracy in the country.
Debate, dissent and disagreement are perfectly acceptable and should be welcomed in polity. But violence has no place in our constitution. It would be appropriate if we could give some thought to this at a festival of democracy. The people of Kerala and the citizens of India deserve that we do serious thinking on this issue as well.
Mr. Kovind arrived at the state capital yesterday on a 3-day visit to Kerala. Supreme Court today adjourns hearing on pleas challenging constitutional validity of Article 35A pertaining to Jammu and Kashmir. The Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra, said the crucial hearing on Article 35A has been adjourned as Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, one of the 3 judges in the bench, was not present. It will now be heard in week commencing on the 27th of this month. Apex Court said that the 3-judge bench hearing case has to decide whether issue of Article 35A has to be referred to Constitutional Bench. Chief Justices of 3 High Courts will be sworn in as Supreme Court judges tomorrow by the Chief Justice of India, Justice Deepak Mishra. Notifications announcing the appointments of Madras High Court Chief Justice Indira Banerjee, Orissa High Court Chief Justice Vineet Saran and Uttarakhand High Court Chief Justice K.M. Joseph to the Supreme Court have already been issued. Justices Indira Banerjee and Vineet Saran were appointed judges of High Courts in February 2002, while Justice Joseph in October 2004. This will take the total number of judges in the Apex Court to 25. Their warrants of appointment were signed by the President on Friday. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has announced that the state government will now operate all shelter homes in the state. Talking to reporters in Patna today, Mr. Kumar said no shelter home will be given to NGOs. He said the government will provide buildings to shelter homes. The Chief Minister said the culprit in alleged sexual harassment of 34 minor girls at state-funded Muzaffarpur shelter home would not be spared at any cost. Mr. Kumar said all those who have committed wrongs will go to jail. Meanwhile, the Patna High Court today ordered that the court will monitor CBI inquiry into Muzaffarpur shelter home case. Accepting the request of Advocate General Lalit Kishore, the Chief Justice of the Court, Rajendra Menon, instructed CBI SP to submit documents related to inquiry to the court. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today removed District Magistrate of Devariya, Sujit Kumar, and suspended former District Probation Officer Abhishek Pandey in Devariya Girls Rescue case. Government has also constituted 2-member probe committee and asked report in 12 hours. District Police of Devariya rescued 23 children, including 20 girls, from a shelter home yesterday after allegation of their sexual exploitation came to light. More from our correspondent.
SP of Devariya district Rohan P. Kanai told AIR that 20 girls and 3 boys rescued from shelter home at Station Road in the name of Ma Vindhyavasini Mahila Parikshan Evam Samaj Seva Sansthan. He said that one girl inmate of the shelter home tipped off about the alleged sexual harassment there, and after that police acted swiftly and rescued all children. ADG Law and Order Anand Kumar said that police is investigating the matter and allegations of sexual abuse could only be verified after proper medical of the rescued children. Meanwhile, Cabinet Minister of Women and Child Welfare of State, Rita Bahuguna Joshi, said that government has asked the detailed report and accused will not be spared. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Chhattisgarh, security forces gunned down at least 14 Naxals in Sukma district of Bastar region. A joint team of security forces was on a search operation after a specific input that a large number of Maoists are present in the jungles of Nulkatung in Konta area. The encounter took place today morning. Police recovered the bodies of 14 Naxals from the spot. Besides, 16 weapons and 4 improvised explosive devices were also recovered from Konta. NDA government has launched Digital India campaign in 2015 to ensure the availability of public services electronically, the improvement of online infrastructure, speedy internet connectivity and making the country digitally empowered are some of its other important features. In Sikkim, the beneficiaries of social welfare schemes are availing online facilities under the mission. Here is a ground report from our Gangtok correspondent.
The people living in remote villages of Sikkim now can pay their electric bills online and avail most of their social welfare benefits at their doorsteps. The old age pensions are also being dispersed through electronic transfer, facilitating its beneficiaries who previously used to travel from far-flung places to district headquarters for the purpose. The South District Collector Prabhakar Verma stressed that administration is now focusing more on issuance of necessary certificates.
जाति प्रमाण पत्र होता है, आय प्रमाण पत्र होता है, सिक्किम सब्जेक्ट सर्टिफिकेट होता है, COI होता है, बाकी डॉक्यूमेंट्स है वो ऑनलाइन कर रहे हैं.
A digital mission beneficiary, Chattar Singh Singhi, who is an architect, said he is satisfied in using GST software system. He said that it also allows him to pay the taxes honestly.
पिछले 4 सालों में डिजिटल में शुरू किया, GST शुरू किया, उससे काम काफी आसान हुआ है. बैंकिंग का बिलिंग वगैरह में सब सुधार हो गया है. GST का प्रचार इतना हुआ है कि समझते हैं जब बिल देते हैं उसमें GST लगा के देते हैं, आदमी को भी भरोसा रहता है सही काम से हम लोग सही पेमेंट कर रहे हैं, तो फायदा तो हुआ ही है. और बैंकों के साथ काम होता है, ट्रांजेक्शन वगैरह में काफी सुविधा हो गया है. टाइम जो लगता था पहले वो रिड्यूस हो गया है काफी हद तक.
The digital campaigns have brought significant changes in people's lives. It seems those days are gone when people, for any simple reason, used to spend so much time in lining up. Ajit Singh, AIR News, Gangtok.
Saudi Arabia has said it is freezing all new trade and investment with Canada over its interference in its internal matters. In a series of tweets, the Saudi Foreign Ministry said it is expelling the Canadian ambassador and recalling its own envoy in Canada. The kingdom gave the Canadian ambassador 24 hours to leave the country. The ministry said the Canadian position is an overt and blatant interference in the internal affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and it will not accept any form of interference in its internal affairs. Sports Minister Colonel Rajyavardhan Rathore has said that the sport of Kabaddi is government's priority. He was replying to supplementaries in the Rajya Sabha during question hour today. On whether government is making efforts to have the sports included in the Olympics, Mr. Rathore said Kabaddi is being played in more than 30 countries. He expressed hope that the game will figure in the international event.
Today, about 30 countries are playing Kabaddi, although Kabaddi is an indigenous sport, but 30 countries around the world are playing. Because the sport involves very less equipment and has a mix of strength, ability, speed and thinking, I am sure that such a wonderful sport will be accepted by the entire world and will eventually come into the Olympics. So we are also supporting indigenous sports, and Kabaddi is one of our priority sports in the country.
The Indian under-20 football team created history last night when they defeated Argentina 2-1 in their final match of the Cortef Cup in Spain. Deepak Tangri scored for India in the 4th minute before Aniket Jadhav was sent off in the second half. Anwar Ali's 68th minute put India 2-0 up against the most successful team in under-20 World Cup history. In under-16, India defeated AFC champions Iraq 1-0 in the West Asian Football Federation Championship last night. With this victory, India returned to winning ways post their 2-1 defeat against Japan in the previous match. The News Service Division of All India Radio in its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak will bring you a discussion tonight on Matritva aur Shishu Jeevan ki Bunyad. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. OBC bill seeking constitutional status for National Commission for Backward Classes to be moved in Rajya Sabha today. President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates Festival on Democracy in Thiruvananthapuram. Supreme Court adjourns hearing on pleas challenging constitutional validity of Article 35A pertaining to Jammu and Kashmir. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar announces that the government will now run all the shelter homes in the state. In Chhattisgarh, 14 Naxals killed in encounter with security forces in Sukma district. Saudi Arabia freezes trade ties with Canada over its interference in the Gulf Kingdom's internal affairs. And that's the end of Midday News.